Zero here, and welcome to the first episode of my lore run. For everything else, this is the first actual episode. You should consider watching episode 0 since it covers the tutorial and the game manual. It's a bit long for an intro video, but it should help you understand more of the game. On the other hand, since I'm going to go through the game anyway, you can actually skip episode 0. Just take note that you might miss some of the finer details since I won't be talking all about them in this actual run. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's proceed with the run. Initializing system, accelerating energy conversion. Hey, our first abnormality. 00303. Feeds on the evil that seeps out during conversations between people. Since we don't have any other choice, we'll just have to choose this one. Hello, X. So we are X. I give you a warm welcome to Lobotomy Corporation. I am Angela, your advisor and secretary. My role as an AI is to assist you in adjusting to your new workplace. So please have no worry in speaking with me or asking any questions. Even an AI can have a name, did you know that? I was born from one of the wings of the world. It signifies that I am one of the best to exist in this age. I know what you must be thinking. Your eyes show that you think I look too human to an AI. Am I wrong? However, there is a great difference between us. I am bound here. I cannot go wherever I please like you do. I may be able to operate the systems of this corporation to open a door or prepare a cup of coffee for you, but I cannot take a step outside of this building to bask in the sunlight or feel the gentle breeze. Now, in regards to my appearance, as you can see, the color of my hair is that of the morning sky after a light shower. The tone and shape of my voice is taken from the wisest person in the world. Lastly, my face is picturesque of a person who had the most beautiful smile. Haha, don't worry, that was a joke. There can be no such person on this earth. My appearance was designed with attractiveness to the largest number of people possible in mind. If the way I look is pleasing to your eye, then I am working as intended. Moving on, artificial intelligence is much more efficient in comparison to humans in terms of multitasking. I am the best in a majority of work fields. I am able to handle the work of several dozen people at once. I am certain many people have lost their jobs because of me. It's such a shame. Well, enough with the introductions. Is there anything that you would like to know? Could you inform me about the company? That's not a bad thing to ask about. Let me put it this way. Your world is constantly growing, and the demand for energy is exponentially increasing as technologies advance. All conventional energy sources combined could not sustain the world further. In search of a solution, we happened to stumble upon mysterious beings whom we dubbed abnormalities. Then we figured out that energy could be harvested from these abnormalities via a special method. To isolate them in a controlled environment, then to harvest energy from them. Our corporation became one of the wings of the world for this discovery that benefits humanity in two ways. Once you are fully placed into the role as the manager, you will be able to access all the current information on the abnormalities from the encyclopedia. It is very important that you know and understand these beings well to be successful in your position. For now, the encyclopedia's pages lay blank, but it will be filled out little by little. Don't concern yourself too much with it. This is a task of your subordinates to pen it. You have joined the company at an opportune moment, by the way. Lobotomy Corporation is always looking for ways to improve its harvesting processes. Our systems are continually updated to support this. Speaking of which, there was a new update to the system right before you arrived. That means the working conditions have been improved upon, compared to those of your predecessors. Think of it as a small welcoming gift. Best of luck for us. I was just about to mention you. You don't understand the concept of patience, do you? Oh, pardon my manners, manager. I was talking to one of the other AIs that work here. I should introduce her to you. Our facility is a huge one, and even I would have trouble managing it on my own. So, someone determined that there should be an AI to assume head control of each department. If I were to be considered the cerebrum, they would be the cerebellum. Naturally, of course, I should be your most trustworthy and capable companion among all the AIs. Well then, shall we greet her now? Manager. I arrived just on time, right? The time is only about 1 minute late. Well, I guess it still counts as on time. Congratulations on joining Lobotomy Corporation, Manager. I do not want to disturb this touching moment, Malkut, but every second counts in Lobotomy Corp. Please make your introduction as brief as possible and go prepare for the meeting. Seems Miss Angela isn't in a good mood today. But hey, at least the other Sephiroth are looking forward to meeting you. Well, maybe not all of them. Oh, where are my manners? My name is Malkut. I am in charge of the control team. Since we are the control team, we have a great deal of responsibility. I'll try my best to help you by improving the basic functions of this facility, Manager. I'm sure a bit nervous right now. It takes a bit of time to get used to things around here. I know from experience. But don't worry, I'll be sure to help you. I am, not exactly the best at everything. I used to be a problem Sephiroth, you know. Would sew buttons into a shirt in the wrong direction, or add salt instead of sugar to food. But still, you can do it, just like I managed to. I'm sure you will succeed, Manager. I'll give you an easy task since it's your first day here. I wish you the best of luck. Can't take it anymore, Manager. You're in here, right? I have to get out of here, please. I know you're capable of it. You're the manager. You're not the same as the rest of us. You can do anything. Why do you want to quit? Don't you like working here in the control team? Every day here is a delight for me. It's so horrible. I can't take it anymore. I'll go insane. Nothing here is normal. Do you really think you can't handle it? Please, I don't want to be here. Let me out of here, please. Manager, even though you're the head of this facility, the employees belong to my department, so I believe I can take care of this. Let me handle this, please. I'll let her handle it. Thanks for acknowledging my position. Please don't be alarmed. These kinds of things happen quite often. Oh, right. Must be the first time you've seen something like this. Usually Miss Angel or I handle this kind of stuff. It's just a tiny hiccup. Nothing for you to worry about. Oh, please, manager, please. Mission, you can do this. Manager, please make sure to remember that your primary goal is harvesting energy from the abnormalities. In order to harvest energy, you need to work on them. This is the most basic yet important task we have here at the corporation. Please don't let me down. I know you can do it. For our first mission, our goal is to complete 3 work processes with abnormalities. Okay, the other departments are still blocked, but we can open the control team. Hello, manager. Each day you will need to expand 1 department. Are you ready to open up the control department and begin managing abnormalities? Okay, let's confirm. Synchronizing. Sync terminal. Day 1. Memory repository imprinted. Right, for the first day, we have the control team. We already have our first mission. Let's see what the control team is all about. So, clerk benefits. It increases the movement speed for all agents. The more clerks that are alive, the more movement speed we get. And continuous service benefits increase the movement speed of the department's agents. So the longer they stay in the department, the faster they become. Team description. The control team monitors the employees and abnormalities and plans out the best course of action. They give intermediate orders to other employees while watching the CCTV feeds. They tend to be quite bossy and assertive, making them unpopular with the other teams. So we still don't have any unlocked research. Right. For our first agent, we have Christopher. And I think Christopher is enough for the first day. But let's hire 2 more so that they can have service benefits as we move along. Yeah, so for this run, let's just go with easy to read names so we don't stumble upon ourselves. So we have Adam, Quinn. Alright, let's just hire Quinn. So we got Christopher, Adam, and Quinn. Now, I can do this. So I need to satisfy the abnormalities desires such as hunger with instinct. And Adam hasn't mothered anything in. So for our first abnormality, we have 0303. A silent abnormality that understands the conflict between good and evil. Its empty eye sockets stare at all those who encounter it. A giant skull that is attached to a cross. It wears a crown of thorns. It floats about 2 meters above the ground. Yeah, it looks like... yeah, it's just a skull that floats above the ground. So for our first work, hopefully for our work, let's randomize it. Okay, so our first work would be 1. Let's send Christopher to do instinct work. Let's got Clerk Alpha. Okay, no need to get careless now. So Christopher is level 1, but the response is calm. So it seems that 0303 0000303 is not that high risk level. Started instinct work. Depending on the situation, 0303 may have a positive effect on employees. Dermal strengths. Juicer and juicers. Collapse tissues. Flows gently in the air, moving sluggishly. There's a Solemnity of 0303 and reverse it. First completed the task, but 0303 was indifferent. Well, he hasn't completed it yet. Only those who deceive themselves can live truly happy lives. Ignorance is bliss. Okay, we got a neutral result. So when we're going to be unlocking stuff, except for certain cases where I need to show off something, I'll start with the management tips, followed by the work preferences, then the basic information, and the escape information. In certain cases, I will start with the basic information just so something will be displayed, but basically this is the flow that I will be unlocking things. So 0303 will restore the employee's mental state when the work result is good. Pode, who received this benediction, commented that it felt refreshing. Unfortunately, the work wasn't good, so I don't think Christopher got that. Let's try something else. So let's just randomize it. 2. Okay, we are going to use... So for our next one, we're going to use... Let's use someone else. Let's use Insight. So that's our random move. Adam didn't mutter anything. Just calm down. Do what we always do. Analyzing environment cognition model. So for Insight, the employee will try to study the abnormality and improve its living conditions or containment unit conditions if they're not living. As of this moment, exactly half the energy needed. Well, to be technical, there's nothing such thing as exactly half of energy. Energy is formless. Phrase exactly half of energy is... He got off the broadcast. So that was a good result. So yeah, the energy was refreshed. So that's the SP. Now let's unlock more. After the maximum number of PE boxes was produced with 0303, it restored the mental health of every employee in the department. So if you want everyone to be healed, just get that. Right, so we still have these work preferences. We found that Insight was good, Instinct not so good. But let's look at the other ones. So attachment is high and low. So it seems that we're just going to do attachment next. And we got an ego gift. 5% chance of getting this gift. SP plus 2 and work success rate plus 10% if they're working with this abnormality. Also unlocked more of the description. While its appearance is bizarre, it's rare to record an incident of violence against employees involving this abnormality. And we've unlocked the plus 5% success rate. Can't even imagine how experienced and skilled the manager must be to have this position. Still can't fast forward stuff. Right. Let's send Quinn. Why is everyone telling me to be careful around the abnormalities? It can't be that dangerous, can they? Alright, while we're waiting for that, let's look at our department. So it's a Lobotomy Corp. We got our Sephiroth here. In the background, some stuff in pages, a holographic table there, some medkits. But yeah, it essentially looks like a sci-fi containment site, but not that too sci-fi. Right, our workday is complete, but we really don't need to complete everything, so can do this is cleared. Let's just continue wrapping this up so we can have at least one ego weapon and ego suit. So inside the side, that's why we got a good one. And the ego suit is this guy, Penitence. Decent stats. Really no weakness, only weakness is pale. And our work speed is increased by +5. And we have unlocked more descriptions. It feeds on the evil that seeps out during conversations between people. The assigned employee must kneel down before it, standing seems to be acceptable, and present their evil by confessing their sins to it. The way it feeds is unknown. Excerpt from the experiment records. We have cataloged the sins a person can commit into 3 levels. Level 1, a small lie or action that either goes unnoticed or can be shared in jest. Level 2, sins that are more serious and can only be shared with the closest of friends. Level 3, sins so profound that they cannot be shared with anyone. These will be taken to the grave. Employee Redacted has been assigned to confess a level 1 sin. Energy production by the abnormality increased by 12%. Employee Redacted was assigned to confess a level 2 sin. Energy production via the abnormality increased by 15%. We assigned Employee Redacted to confess a level 3 sin. 1 minute and 48 seconds after the employee was sent in, a bright flash of light was seen. The light was so bright that it could be seen outside the containment unit. Immediately following the light, there was a facility-wide power outage. The phenomenon lasted for 2 hours. Employee Redacted lost 6 years of their memory. Further experiments were cancelled. Scientific ethics decree that all footage of those who participated in the experiment is kept to be sealed. However, the incident left us no choice but to review the footage of the containment unit. Let's just do more stuff for everyone. And this is the Cliff-Off meltdown. To prevent you from farming everyone, the more you work on abnormalities, the gauge will fill up. And depending on what is written here, it's going to do something. So in this case, it's a normal meltdown. One containment unit will have a meltdown counter. And once this counter goes down to 0, something bad will happen. Mainly, we will lose energy, and there is a chance that the abnormality will breach containment. But this gauge will not go down until the work is not done. Until this is done. So we should have someone ready to work on this. Okay, while that is melting down, let's unlock the basic information. Basic information tells you the name of the abnormality, at least the name assigned by the corporation to it. So it's 1 sin and 100 good deeds. Let's just call it 1 sin for from this point on. Or you can call it Skullbro or whatever. It's Zion, the lowest risk level. We can get a maximum of 10 Enkephalin boxes, and it deals white damage while you work on it. And we also unlocked the weapon. The weapon is Penitence, and it deals white damage. It's short range though, but it's a bit better than our ride sticks. Now, unlocking more of the document. So an interview with Employee Redacted. This happened during Redacted at around 4 PM. Anyways, there was a railway around 20 minutes from my house. So my good friends and I decided to dress as forest animals. One of us chose to go as a deer. It was a crude costume and it could hardly be called one, to be honest. Just a pair of clumsily made antlers and a dark outfit with some deer-like spots on it. Omitted. I don't know how our dear friend wandered into the woods. We didn't even notice he was missing for maybe an hour. We searched for him and finally found him in some bushes. Called out his name, and I'm not sure if it was from relief finally finding us or what, but he started sprinting towards us. That's when we heard it, the gunshots. Bang, bang, bang. When I came to my senses, I saw his blood splattered all the way to my feet. After that, none of us dressed up as an animal ever again. That's all, by the way. Is this really supposed to work? Observation log 435. Its eye sockets were empty, and it's a skull after all, but I doubt it's blind. Certainly has a gaze fixed on me, and I can somehow feel that it's listening to me. Confessing to it does lighten my heart, admittedly. Now back to our meltdown. Let's just work on it so it's not going to melt down. Our agents are pretty slow at this point. Hopefully later we can upgrade their justice so they can move faster. Or they can just get the bonus from the control team. Sin was indifferent. Already read that before. Okay, everyone gained SP. And finally, escape information. Well, it doesn't escape. It doesn't have a cliff off counter, so meltdown shouldn't affect it. We're just going to lose energy from it. And finally, let's go for the story. So the final part of the document. Afterwards, we investigated the incident in the employee's hometown to get a better picture. We learned that a boy named Justin was shot and killed in a deer costume by hunters during hunting season. Unlike the employee's confession, Justin was repeatedly bullied by other kids. Witnesses say that they heard a kid shout, "Run, Justin, run!" right before the gunshot. After the incident, the kids at the scene moved out of town, and deer hunting was banned in the area. Okay, so our level 3 employee, level 3 sin employee was lying about dressing up as forest animals and saying that this was just an accident. So that was a level 3 sin. That, well, one sin wants to hear. And that happened. Anyway, I think I changed my mind. Since it's going to take us a bit to get all of this, probably 2 more. I don't need to do that. Though, to be honest, our weapons are 4 to 6 is worse than 5 to 7. and our armor is weak against that. So hopefully in the following days we can get some suits out of this while we are working on other stuff. But before that, we need to do the fast forward thing. Anyway, that's it for day 1. Let's proceed. Right, mission completed. So 1 fortitude work, just pumped it up by 1. 2 temperance, increased it by 2. So it's not that random. We can get 1 or 2 bonus, but it didn't level up the actual skill. Okay, let's proceed to the next day. Getting TT2 acceleration. So now we have 3 abnormalities to choose from, and we're going to choose them randomly. She was so talkative before, yet in the end, loneliness was the only listener. This is a recording of the day we must never forget. People have been committing sins since long ago. Why do they commit sins, knowing that it's wrong? Right. Let's randomize it. 1. She was so talkative before, yet in the end, loneliness was the only listener. Face the fear, build the future. That is the motto of our founder, the one whom we refer to as A. Tell me, if you had to choose one, what part of the motto do you prefer? It's the fear. We are the first humans of this world to discover abnormalities. Of course, with the exclusion of myself, as I do not exactly belong to humanity. How should I put it? We are pioneering an entirely new world in a brand new field of study. The discoveries we have made thus far are merely the tip of the iceberg. Abnormalities have been among us since the beginning. However, we have only just found their essence, their strange nature. Confronted them for the first time, and we faced fear itself. They were fundamentally the incarnation of fear. There was a bit of confusion last time, wasn't there? Usually, I am in charge of security of your office. However, it seems that I failed to pay close enough attention to the Sephora meeting room. I heard that the control team employee had resigned from the corporation. Good job. You do know what it means to resign here in the company, don't you? I'll take that as a no. I do sometimes miscalculate what information I should deliver to you and what I shouldn't. Some aspects of our company that I considered natural and obvious may come as quite a shock to you. We have a variety of roles here. It's like a well-structured play. Every actor has a role and they must be faithful to their part without any error, synergizing with each other. Now, imagine that one of the actors decides to leave the stage because they didn't like their role. The actor should have played their predetermined part at the predetermined timing before making their exit stage left. But to leave the stage without filling their part means that the life of the role and its actor are finished. That is what we mean when we say someone resigns. Great job, manager! You did exactly as what I asked of you. I knew you could do it. You'll never guess how much I rooted for you back there. As for me, the day went alright. We covered a giant emergency protocol drill for my team. Not a single dropout or injury. Everyone did a good job. Not to say that it was perfect though. By the way, manager, have you seen something creepier than the abnormalities? Those entities that wander the facility, unable to be contained, and sometimes they manifest themselves in the corridors. The drills do no good when you encounter them, since we don't have enough data on them, so we always have to stay alert. No matter how meticulous our plan is, we can't control the unknown. Sometimes when I encounter them, I get a strange feeling. It's not like fear or anything, some other sensation. Strange, isn't it? I feel nauseous, like something within me is palpitating out of control, and it feels like I'm no longer myself. How could I describe it? Like something's wriggling inside of me. A little. Next mission, Semper Fi. Your job isn't just to keep the abnormalities in control. You need to make sure that they are happy so they'll produce as many PE boxes as they can. Please work hard on this. Everything else should be secondary to that objective. Next goal is to complete 4 work processes with a good result. Now let's expand our control team. We can't expand yet. Good day, manager. Would you like to expand the control team? Firm. Now we have our first research. You have to choose between the TT2 protocol, game speed acceleration. You can accelerate the flow time during management 2 times by using the TT2 acceleration protocol. Research proposal, joint command, order agents to work in other departments. You can order them to work in other departments, but since we only have 1 department now, this is actually not that great. Joint command permits you to give cross-divisional work orders between departments. And finally, assembly summons. We call scattered agents to their home department's main room. Beepers will be provided so agents can be notified to return to their home department. That's the recall button. It's currently disabled, but this can be useful later. So our plan is to open this, then this, then this. Because game speed is important. Don't want to stand around doing nothing. Okay, we now have 3 lob points. We have a new abnormality. An abnormality taking the form of an old feeble woman. Anytime someone enters its containment unit, it will talk to that person. Okay. And just like before, let's hire someone. And again, let's hire someone that we can actually read. We got enough law points. I guess I can pump some virtue level. Sure, let's pump up the fortitude and prudence. Don't need to hoard our law points. It's actually pretty easy to get them as long as you don't mess up. That's our first day. Now let's pause and look at our new abnormality. And as mentioned, it looks just like an old lady. And just wanting to talk to someone. Now, again, let's randomize what we're going to do. 4. Okay. Let's send someone to do repression work on it. And while that's being worked upon, let's send someone to farm their temperance. And now we have the TT2 protocol, we can speed up things. Ooh, it's nervous. So this looks like a Tet, because Christopher is level 1 and they're not calm. Breathe in, breathe out. Confirm in work initiation sequences. Breaking recursive chains. Ooh, repression is not good. Being unable to bear the stories of 00112 because the floor and walls of the containment unit have cracked and they're blah blah blah. Ooh, this is bad. 00112 souls faded away in solitude long ago. Conversation is meaningless to 0112. All she needs is an audience. Christopher. Oh. So that was a bad thing. Manager, Christopher's gone mad. Please handle them soon. Please give me an order. 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 Unfortunately, we don't have any way of bringing him back. So, yeah, looks like this is the first time that we are going to have to retry the day. Since this was just the first thing that we did, retrying the day isn't that bad. Right. Let's do it again. But now, let's try something else. 1. Alright. Send Christopher again. For this, let's send Chloe again. Will Christopher die again? Inside of 00112's unit, a suffocating silence draws near. Maybe 30% cogito. Her numerous stories once fascinated people, but after a long time, a curse has seeped into her tales. One is deaf and nearly blind, yet she still recognizes the presence of Christopher. Christopher leaves the unit after finishing up their work. The solitude that replaces their presence will be filled with 00112 stories. Ooh, okay. Finally did it. One sin and hundreds of good deeds is also done. So let's send someone else. Let's send Adam. And we can finally start managing it. When an abnormality other than 00112 was worked with, the Cliffos counter lowered. When the Cliffos counter reached 0, black shapes formed inside the containment unit. We decided to dub these shapes Solitude based on the conditions which they form. Right. Let's generate another one. So I'm keeping this generate random number. Okay. So last would be insight. And I mean next would be insight and the last would be attachment. Insight. Send Quinn over. Hopefully Quinn doesn't go mad. You got a Cliffos meltdown, but since we're currently working on one sin, it's not really an issue. Already watched that. Poisonous things. Say infiltrate those who surround and listen. Oh, Quinn's gone mad. So insight's not great, and looks like it's attachment work. Let's just retry the day and try the attachment work. Now, to fix our problem why our people are panicking is because they don't have enough SB. So instead, I'm just going to send Chloe over there since Chloe has much more SP. And we can just let the other agents work on one sin. And let's do the last one, which is attachment. I hope she doesn't tell that awful story again. So it seems that our agent's mumblings are based on the abnormality. So Chloe's level 2. This thing looks like a death, so just don't lose your head and stick to the manual. Okay, this is done. Let's send Adam. Just keep farming that while we're working on this old lady. 40112's ever-winding story began. Chloe managed to finish their work quickly and get out of there safely. Okay, cannot settle merely for half the energy. Your duty must be completed. You must collect full amount of energy, not just half. Now, looks like attachment is the best. When the solitude piled up, it stuck to how when they entered the containment unit. Noah had to deal with continuous white damage until the solitude eventually fell off. Until it was gone, they could not move or do any work. So when it reaches 0, it is going to produce a black shape called solitude, and it will stick to the person and deal continuous white damage for the next agent that enters the room. And we've unlocked more of the story. What it tells differ from time to time. However, it will always commence when, dearie, would you like to hear a story? This story could be a lullaby, an unspecified poem, a nursery rhyme, common children's story, or something entirely new. Knows every children's story will not stop recounting until the listener finally leaves. Well, that's something. Right. Let's just let Chloe heal up first. Let that finish. Okay. Oh, she doesn't tell the story again. Okay. Right, we got the Cliffos meltdown. This doesn't escape, but it's just going to annoy us. Right, next would be Quinn. I finished management training, but still don't have the hang of it. Well, yeah, you're just level 1. That makes sense. Side of old ladies unit, suffocating silence. I knew you could do it. You have success succeeded in collecting all of the energy. Now, since we have the TT2 protocol, we can fast forward stuff. Let's just farm this so that every one of us can have an eco suit. This will take a bit of time, and maybe I'll consider editing this in post so that everything's fast forwarded. But yeah. Let's just continue working on this. Same thing here. Let's heal up Chloe first. And do the unlocks. I think we've already unlocked one set. Right, at this point, we can now see the name. We haven't unlocked the basic information, but we've unlocked enough of the abnormality such that the flavor text here now says old lady instead of 0112. Then add them over there. Now let's unlock this one. It gives us Solitude, which is good against white and black. And it's also Tet. And the gift is a +3 and +3 work, success, and speed. Get +6 work speed here. And another unlock. Excerpt from Counseling Records. She may be the loneliest of all the abnormalities. She is filled with loneliness and tells her tales to fill that void. Well, every story needs a listener. When someone enters her room, she'll try to fill that void. Of course, listening to her is a very dangerous thing. She knows every story on Earth and even those that cannot possibly exist. Her minds can't cope with such a thing. She could fry your brain in an instant. Okay. St. Quinn. Hopefully the Cliffos Meltdown would be this one. Nope. Doesn't matter. And we're gonna stand Quinn here. No, Christopher. Christopher, not Christopher. Now, hopefully this should be enough to unlock the basic information. Yeah, it's an old lady. Risk level of Tet. You can gain a maximum of 4 enkephalin boxes. And it gives us a gun. Which is great, because guns are great. You don't need to run up to an abnormality and have yourself be vulnerable to attack. So we didn't unlock any new description from that level 3. But we now can see that the Cliffos counter is 4. Lots of room for error. Let's send Adam, send Chloe again. I'll just finish this one. Then hopefully once we get even just 3, I can proceed to the next day. But since we're just around 50 something minutes, I can continue farming this one. Guess we'll just continue farming. There's really no downside. So we won't have any problems. Let's see, go along. Okay, our final unlock. It's a Cliffos counter 4, but it doesn't escape. So if it just reaches 0, the black shapes will form and it will deal continuous white damage. And let's see the story if there's something new unlocked. Nope, nothing new in the story. And that's just that, an old lady that you have to work on. Otherwise, if another abnormality completes the work, it will, and no one is working on the old lady, it will reduce it. And once it goes to 0, no one can work on it unless they want to take a shit ton of white damage. Well, at least at this point. Maybe later, once you get higher armor, it's just going to be a continuous tickle of white damage. But regardless, it's a good thing, because yeah, a gun is great. You get 2 guns and 3 decent white and black armor. Not great for suppressing since most of our enemies deal red damage, but not bad. Now, he got 3. Just 1 more and we can continue to the next day. was the last one who did 1 sin, Quinn. So it's back to Christopher. Just 13. Let's go for the gun first rather than the armor. You have decent armor here. And Adam. And let's heal Chloe up first. And just one more, and we can end the day. No, that was Adam, so I need to send Quinn. I mean, I can produce 5, so that the next person we hire is going to have full suit also. And we still have time. And so we can have a gun also. Alright, I'll just get the gun, then get an armor. And just missed one. So just one last run for 1 sin, and this would give us a gun. And we can now proceed to the next. Okay, Chloe finally got the Solitude gift. As far as I can see, no one already got the Penitent's hat. Alright, so we now have 5 armor and 4 weapons and 1 gun. That was a good early game. Now our Temperance still hasn't leveled up though. We spent our entire day working on 1 sin, but we haven't leveled up our Temperance yet. Maybe because 1 sin is just Zion, as opposed to Old Lady, which is that. So I work on harder abnormalities to get better results, of course. Right. Day 3. I think it's a good time to stop this episode or not. I think I'll just stop it after the story is finished. Then we proceed to the deployment screen, and I'm just going to start the episode on the deployment screen. And just have, for every episode, I'm just going to post clips of the conversation in the previous episode. That's a conversation that we got from Angela and from the department we just completed a mission from. Alright, before that, let's choose. We're going to get 2. First, what are they? Dude, your little angel is gnawing on our colleague's finger. See a song in front of you. It's approaching, becoming more colorful by the second. This is a recording of the day we must never forget. And it seems that we're going to do 0360. See a song in front of you. It's approaching, becoming more colorful by the second. Greetings, manager. Marks 3 days now that you have worked here. The number 3 is a mysterious one. In age-old fables, it is common for a mysterious entity to appear and tell the protagonist to utter 3 wishes. Sadly, I am not a major billionaire that can grant your wishes. However, I do happen to know that what your predecessors wished for. There were many aspirations. Common among them was seeking of some kind of growth. To lead the company to prosperity, to achieve spiritual maturity, you name it. Each had wanted to flower in a different way. Which of those 2 would you want? Wish the company to prosper, or wish to mature my spirit? Wish for the company to prosper. Your future is determined by what you do at this moment. Currently, you work for Lobotomy Corporation. In our company, you will see things that cannot be seen, and you will feel things that cannot be felt. You shall do impossible things. May your wish be granted. Perhaps you will become the best manager I have seen yet. So, you may be asking yourself if your predecessors managed to fulfill their wish. I suppose what happened to the others is not important after all. I do promise to cheer you on for the journey to your final goal, though. You did it again! You did flawlessly too. I myself have a lot of work to do. If you look at my notebook, my to-do list is always so full. I know that I can get through it. I should do my best, like I always have. I know I'm slower than the others. I always have to check my list or I'll miss something important. That's why I have this notebook with me all the time. Can't leave any mistakes, you know? I have been carrying it for so long that it's almost worn out. It's been with me ever since I began working here as a Sephiroth of the control team. I know Lady Angela worries about me from time to time, but I got everything under control. I feel like this is some kind of life that I've been yearning for ever since so long time ago. Maybe even before I was capable of thinking. It feels as if I wished for the same thing before. Some other place that wasn't the control team. Malkuth, please finish the report I requested by the end of the day. Sure thing, boss. I've got it right here on my list. I'll have it turned in by the end of the day. Well, I should get going now. It's a pleasure talking to you, manager. The AIs here, they're all unstable, with the exception of me. It's especially hard for Malkuth. You've noticed, haven't you? Can't complain though. Only makes it easier for me to control her. The next mission, controlling meltdowns. As you may know, our facility isn't really the most stable thing. We're only able to keep the abnormalities contained thanks to the Cliff deterrence, which we briefly adjust down just before the workday begins. But this deterrence becomes unstable as time goes on, and eventually some abnormalities may undergo a meltdown. So yeah, as the day goes along, that's the reason why we have Cliffos meltdowns. So our Cliffos deterrents prevent our abnormalities from breaching or doing certain things. But yeah, at certain points there are meltdowns, and our goal now is to work on 8 containment units during a Cliffos meltdown. Alright, next step, expanding the control team. We don't have any choice. Now, before we wrap up this episode, let's choose one of these 2. As mentioned, we don't have any other departments yet, so it's better just get this one. Even though it's really not that important right now, since we have just one department. Now let's hire another person. Audley. Right, Velasquez. Now let's give our people some weapons. I think Chloe deserves the gun. Then the ego suit. And that's that. So, yeah, before we end the episode, let's just read this. An abnormality that resembles a child's innocent doodles. Originally, it had no stable form, and shape would continually morph. To this day, its aspects still change, albeit at a much slower pace. Component analysis has revealed that the abnormality consists of matter that does not exist on Earth. This is notable for its metaphysical appearance that one cannot explain with words. And yeah, I think we're still okay. We're still researching one more. And that's it for this episode of our lore run. So, see you in the next episode where we are going to proceed with day 3.